Hi friends, Andy Vegan. Time for my daily greens, and I have again a Frisée lettuce. That is a curly endive, the other name, and it is from the same family with the endive. It's the, I think it's called this uh, Chicory family. Chicory family. They all have bitter flavors, and that makes them very unique. This is the curly endive of the Frisée is really curly here, and it is the Frisée. The endive has broad leaves, but the Frisée looks like this. They both have huge heads, but these are really frizzy, and the flavor is like that. They taste like that. It's fascinating. I wash the leaves. I dry them in a salad spinner, and then I cut them on a cutting board in the same way I cut the endive. But the endive is thin stripes. I cut it in the same way, but the shape of the leaves is different, so you don't have thin stripes. You have small pieces. I'll show you in a moment. And this is still a firm leafy green, but same with the endives. When I cut them into thin stripes, they become tender somehow. They are still crunchy. And cut them into small pieces is important because you want to have a large surface, and you don't want to have them too much resistant in the mouth for the bite, right? You also you want them to have them easily combined with all the other ingredients. One ingredient standing out too much, too firm, or too bitter, or something. Sometimes it doesn't work. They don't combine to unity. So cutting into the right shape is really important to make a green salad. Here I always begin with a fluffy, light, fresh bed of leaves. Sometimes I tear them apart. Sometimes I cut them. Always different. But I need this fluffy bed. This fresh, fluffy, light bed, crunchy bed. Yeah. And then the second ingredient is usually an onion. I usually take half an onion and I chop it up. That is very nice with all kinds of greens because it balances the bitter flavors that are most greens. And the Chicory family, the endive, the curly endive here, the Frisée, they are bitter, and especially more bitter than the other greens in a different way. And this is not really bitter, I would say. It's a subtle kind of bitterness. It's more like a fritziness, right? It's the peppery bitterness. I don't know, it's not very bitter. But it is a clear flavor, has its own flavor. All the leaves, all the green leaves, the different lettuces, they have their specific texture and flavors. And you always need to check what the dressing says, how it fits, and the other ingredients. And so you have to figure it out. They always play a little bit different. So that is an onion and the green leaves. And then I have two more ingredients for this base. This is a standard base for this little series. I have tomatoes and kidney beans. It's number 3 and 4. Tomatoes are always, for a green salad, tomatoes are really a classic. They are fruity, fresh, runny, sweet and sour, perfect balance for the bitter leaves. And the kidney beans are the opposite of the tomatoes, I found. In this series, I found that the beans and tomatoes are so nice together in a salad. And they make it really filling and give a really counterbalance to the tomatoes. So that is the ingredients, and I have here the dressing. That is number 5. These 5 ingredients with the dressing, they are the base for this series of salad recipes. And I always put 2 new ingredients to that to find out what I like, how do they play together with this base. And here I have half an avocado on top and a red chili pepper. Here, this is the pairing for the top of this salad today. with curly and olive or Frisée. Yeah. And it's very nice to have in a salad with 7 ingredients in total, because in my flavor, to my taste, it is not too much and not too little. That's my usual, has become my usual recipe, 7 ingredients somehow, with a 5 base or 3 base or whatever. And then I add, and I have a lot of possibilities of options to vary. So every day I have a new different salad. A little bit different, but always different. Now the Frisée, of course, makes a big difference. That is a big difference to use the Frisée instead of the Batavia, for example, or the Romaine. The dressing is a sweet sour cashew dressing. I show you in another video how to make it. You find the link under this one. I don't need too much dressing for this lettuce, for this salad. The leaves are tender after cutting them. That's a firm leaf, but I would say they become tender when you cut them, as if tender, so they don't need a lot of dressing. I take the last bit out of the salad, out of the container here, because it's the last bit, and now I make a new batch. I always make a new salad dressing, a new batch of the dressing once in a while, when it's over, when it's finished. And then I try all kinds of different salads with the same dressing. The sweet sour cashew dressing has cashews, apple cider vinegar, dates, pepper and salt. It's very simple, and still you can have some options to make it thicker, thinner, saltier, some more sour for more bitter flavors. You want more sour, more hot maybe, that balances the bitter flavors. Runnier when it's a little bit more tender, and so forth. You can imagine. It's very simple to do that with this dressing, and that's what I like, to make a new recipe every single day, to enjoy the endless vegan variety. And I thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please like my video, subscribe MD Vegan on YouTube, and maybe donate. There is a thanks button under the video, or you can also find me on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and X.